ladies and gentlemen. I had to answer a number of questions about why leading northern groups, to which I belong to one, was not here in the numbers that was expected. I'm afraid I didn't have anybody's mandate to offer up an apology or to speak for them. But I suspect that the dominant thought behind the failure of northern groups to be here would have been the idea that this is just going to be another talk show. And quite possibly, because they are elite, it will be elites talking to elites, and no good thing will come out of this. Which is really sad. It's a very sad reflection. But prepare to be shocked. I think they will be correct too. Look at this room. The average age in this room would be, what, 45, 50, 55? The average age, with all due respect to the high table here, would be 60, 70. I don't know if there's anybody participating here who is 35 in this room, unless they are serving things. Yes, Chief, only you. The point I'm making is we've done this over and over and over again. We're trying to fix a country. We're trying to see if we can produce the best constitution, and we're using the same language that the British did from day one. How do we create a country where the elite determine what happens? It was never about the citizen, never. Why aren't we talking about the citizens' constitution? Why are we talking about ethnic federation, types of groupings? What is the difference between the poor man in the village in Kano, a town without drinking water, no tarred roads, or in Zamfara, who lives daily with killers and bandits? What difference do the number of local governments they have? What is the difference between how many local governments they have between them and Anambra or Akwa Ibom? We are not concerned with the citizen. If we're going to rebuild Nigeria, it has to be on the basis of a nation of citizens, not a nation that we elite want. This is what we have been getting wrong. We're talking about how we want to see Nigeria. Nobody's talking about the federation of citizens. First, identify the citizen. Go back to the Constitution. Read Chapter 2, the fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy. Read what is in there. That's the closest we came to defining what Nigeria should be, how Nigeria should govern, what ideals we should shape. Nobody talks about them. You know what they did with that? They created a fantastic Chapter 2 and took out the bullet out of the gun. They made it non-justicial. And that was the closest to define what is Nigeria, who was it designed for? Why is it not possible for the citizen in Yobe to have the same rights, the same privileges as the citizen in Ondo? Why does it have why must he be defined by his ethnic group first, and not by his being Nigerian? Why can't we build a nation that gives the citizen first rights, inalienable rights that are the same wherever he goes, no matter what language he speaks? We're still talking about ethnicity. We're talking about things that cripple us rather than things that will do things for our citizens. So if we want to really design or redesign a constitution, whoever does it, and I assure you this administration will not do it, the next administration will not do it. If you are looking up to this government or subsequent governments to submit to the will of the elite to redesign a constitution that fits another elite that is not currently enjoying power, you're wasting your time. Nigeria may go down as we're going down. I pray to God it doesn't. Or it might recover and find its course and its mission, but it will not be done by us. The way we are going, If we're not careful, we will write a constitution by to be written by sweat, tears, and blood of young people who we kept out and we're keeping out, and we're designing systems and processes that fit us and do not address the needs of the young Nigerians. We want a citizen's constitution. No matter how difficult it is, we can write a citizen's constitution. I was very interested in my senior brother's last presentation. I'm going to be told to stop talking, so let me be quick. He listed heroes of democracy. In those countries, virtually every one of those countries where those people came from, they had to fight a civil war. We don't want to fight a civil war again. We fought one. We missed the point. When elites fight, you get a civil war. When our young people are knocking on the door now saying, please let us in, this country belongs to us, not to us in this room, to them. And we pretend that we will design for them a Nigeria that fits us, not them. They will break that door and they will come into it. And we're at that point. There's anger, there's alienation, and we have kept the energy and the anger of young people outside, and we think we can sit in comfort and design a Nigeria for them. We are wrong. And if we think we can take a document to this government or another government to say to them, design this or redesign this, is wrong. People who benefit from Nigeria of today are sitting there benefiting, and they will not change Nigeria. They will not change the system. You want to go to the people that this constitution has produced, who are benefiting from it, 80% of our resources are in their hands and their pockets, and say, please stop what you're doing and do this, take power from you? It's wrong. They will never do that. We need to have a sense of urgency about this too. We're going about it as if it is just another thing that we can take the next 5, 10, 15 years. Nigeria doesn't have 20 years to continue to survive. Believe me, honestly, it doesn't. Anybody who tells you Nigeria can survive for another 20 years with the level of alienation and anger and violence and poverty is wasting their time. They don't know this country. So what do we need to do? Yes, sir. We need to speak more with each other, but we need to speak more with the younger people, with women, with groups that are not part of what is going on. We need to organize change beyond the hotels. We need to ask why the northern groups are not here and reach out to them and say, you are suffering as much as we're doing. We need to tap the young people in this country, recognize them, use their energy, use their strength, and rebuild Nigeria with them. Thank you.
Amendment.